Hello everyone, I'm Rob Goodwin of YourBostonSports.com, approaching Thanksgiving 2020.
Wow, our old music.
How about that?
The old Corn, Gordon, and Flanagan ballad.
That's right. Joining me is John Corn, as always. Welcome.
Good to see everybody.
This is quite a big show, you know.
Randy Flanagan will be joining us in a few minutes, hopefully.
Yes.
He's visiting with his dad now.
And you know, this is a milestone for us. This is our 15th year. This is our 15th anniversary of doing the show.
I remember it was called Corn and Gordon.
Exactly.
The two of us, and we had that little tape recorder thing in your room there.
Yeah, we sat in front of a plastic microphone from Staples, $10.
Yeah. And then we have two studios and Northern Connecticut studio.
That's
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I remember back then, you didn't tell your parents or anybody about doing the show. Why was that?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I forget. It was 15 years ago.
I
I'm getting
think you
old.
told me you were embarrassed.
Oh, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to do a show with you. Yeah. I'm embarrassed to go to Fenway Park with you.
Well, I know, but you do anyways.
Yeah.
So we've come a long way. You know, we're a podcast. Now it's primarily YouTube and Facebook, although it's a podcast also.
Yep. We've seen 3 world championships since then.
And we have over 1,100 people in the Winter Weekend Facebook group, which unfortunately there probably won't be one this year.
Yeah.
But a lot of great people in that group.
Yep.
A lot of families, which is nice. And there was Red Sox news. How about that?
Yeah, Cora, Alex Cora.
So what were your thoughts about Cora coming back, being brought back by Chaim Bloom? Why
not? I was never a big fan of, oh my gosh, we just uncovered the scandal. A baseball player cheating, quote unquote cheating has been part of the game for 150 years. Now, yeah, at that level, no, but nah, I got no problem with it. How about you?
Well, I mean, when he was suspended and everything that went on with the Astros, I said, you know what? I don't want him back. Because I thought he was too involved in it. He was too front and center in it. And somebody should have said something, and it was wrong.
You know what else happened?
What went on was wrong.
You were wrong?
No, I said what went on in Houston was wrong.
Oh, yeah, it was wrong.
It went way too far.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not defending him. There were a lot more people involved than just him and Carlos Beltran. There was front office people involved. I don't know if Jeff Lunhow knew or didn't know. He says he didn't know, the GM. AJ Hinch paid the price. But, no, it just left a bad taste in my mouth that he was so front and center in it.
Yeah.
But, looking back on it, he served a suspension, although it was quite a year to serve a suspension, that kind of 60-game petri dish of a year and they'll be put together. But if he's going to get hired by anyone, why not the Red Sox?
I got my own opinions on it. I've got a bad taste in my mouth about sanctimonious people running around trying to find cheaters. I think the game deserves better than that. But I don't really have much of an opinion on it. After this year, who cares? All the crazy stuff that's happened, and whatever.
Right.
Start over next year.
Yeah, there are more important and tragic things that have been going on in this country where we shouldn't have to worry about Alex Cora.
I saw more. This is just my opinion. I see more damage being done to the game by getting political than I do by someone quote unquote cheating.
Right.
So hopefully I don't have to look at that next year either. So.
Well, and the other thing is that
start over. Just start over. Start everything all over next year. Yeah.
And Alex Cora has the ability, to be a really special manager, kind of like Terry Francona. Now he's not going to make a terrible team world champions.
No.
But I think Chaim Bloom came up with that idea that he's that kind of guy. He's that kind of a baseball person and, the personality that he has. And if he's going to do it for anyone, like I said, if he's got that type of, that level of ability, which I think he does, then why not the Red Sox? And
what other manager with that level of ability is going to want to go to Boston right now?
Yeah.
Nobody that good is going to want to go anyway. He probably didn't have any, So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we had to put up with a lot of people saying that we hired a cheater, like Belichick, blah, blah, blah.
Just say whatever they want.
Yeah. And I watched the press conference. It was okay, you know.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, what happens on the field is what's most important. He's got
That's
he's
right.
got his coaching
Yeah,
staff
that's right.
put together.
That's right.
He's got a bench coach. Will Venable is now the bench coach. I guess Ron Renicky, I guess he got a raw deal, sort of. But
Well, he knew he was just interim, didn't he?
yeah, but I mean, he was a victim of circumstance. I think if Cora hadn't been suspended, Renicky.
You think he wants to come back? You think he would want to come back next year? I don't think so.
No. But
He's as old as I am.
Right. But if Cora hadn't been suspended and the Houston thing didn't happen, would Renicky still be his bench coach? I guess it would be his choice,
maybe.
probably.
Yeah, probably. So.
Well, I want to congratulate the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning the extended spring training championship. So in this extended spring training championship of 60 games, so far the record is Cactus League 1, Grapefruit League 0.
So who won the batting title? Who won the?
Was there one?
Who hit the most home runs with 10? Remember Jose Canseco? He was the first 40-40 guy.
Yeah.
40 stolen bases, 40 home runs. Yeah. Maybe we had a 10-10 guy this year.
Maybe.
You know
why I call it a petri dish of a season? What other season would MLB start a runner on second base in extra innings? Not a full season.
Yeah.
It's just experimentation. The DH in both leagues. I don't know. So
I'm curious to see if baseball's back to normal next year. I'd like to see that. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope it's not. I don't like the way the game has gone in the last few years. I don't like the umpires reviewing the plays. I think it was a bad move.
Yeah.
I think it damaged the game. They're the worst officials. They're the worst officials in Major League Sports anyway. And they throw a player out the minute he argues. They need to do something about the umpire situation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I don't like that rule that a team can, review. The umpire making a call is part of the play. If umpire makes a bad call, okay, an infielder can make an error too. It's
Right.
part of the game.
I have to interrupt you.
I don't like some of the stuff that's been happening to the game anyway. So
Yeah.
I got kind of a bad taste in my mouth right now.
Hey, I have to interrupt you. We have a special guest that's going to be joining us. So, Flanagan is going to be joining us in a few minutes. We have a special guest waiting in the waiting room. You ready?
Oh yeah, all right.
There we go. Let's see who it is. Hey, Brian.
Hey,
Brady.
Brian, how are you?
Can you hear us, Brian?
I can hear you.
What's going on, buddy?
I met you at the World Series Club. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
How you doing?
Well, I had my left knee replaced.
You had your left knee replaced?
Yeah, I had a fall way back when, and I couldn't. It was non-essential surgery until recently. So,
How you feeling?
It's a little different, I'll tell you. So it's pretty painful for a while. So I'm not a cane now. I was using a walker.
Oh.
So, and my hand's a little roached out. You guys see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I felt the depth.
So what are you hoping to run the 50-yard dash in the spring?
I think I don't even drive it, for crying out. I'm not even driving anymore.
When was your surgery?
When was it? It was October 5th was the date. I had it done up in Torrington,
recently.
actually. The medical group was out of Litchfield County, so I knew one of the doctors. But we're getting there. It's coming along.
Glad to see you're back up and around.
We're getting there. Say congratulations there, you two guys. 15 years, that's it. I remember when you started this thing.
Thank you.
We were working over at ESPN, I think, when you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, our third is actually going to be joining us in a few minutes. You didn't know we had a third who
Well, it was Corn, Flanagan.
Flanagan. That's right.
Is his name John also?
Yeah, so there's the three of us. So Flanagan should be joining us in a few minutes.
Okay.
So we were talking about Alex Cora. What are your thoughts about him coming back?
Baseball's a really funny situation. I was always a big fan of the biggest, best hitter in baseball with the most hits. our buddy from Cincinnati Reds, if you know what I'm talking about.
Who's that?
Who bet on his team in baseball and can't get in the Hall
Oh,
of
Pete
Fame?
Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of guys that juiced and got hits in comparison to guys that didn't. And it's a game of numbers. And it really disturbs me that some of the guys that didn't have all these assists with drugs and everything else, they were hitting dead balls back in the day. And these other guys, like Barry Bonds, he's up there and he's supposed to be the home run king.
Yeah, with an asterisk.
I can't buy it. Yeah, well, but still know how many asterisks are you going to put in the book, when you finally get through.
So should Cora should or should not have been brought back to the Red Sox?
I think, to hear it, and from the World Series club, we were talking about it too. There's a lot of guys that essentially every team likes to try to get the signals, and Cora had maybe a more obvious way of doing it, or somebody was just out to get him. I don't know, but I think he paid a penalty. He kind of wrecked his reputation there for a while, and hopefully he can build it back. Does he deserve a second chance? I think everybody does.
So Flanagan is joining us right now. So let me bring him in.
Bring him in. I got my holy pierogi hat on.
Yeah, nice.
I got the sweatshirt on too, but you can't see that. But you will.
There's Flanagan.
Hello.
Can you see my my curtains?
Absolutely.
I got the one where I'm blocking is Jimmy Pearsall's shirt.
I see it.
Okay.
Jimmy Pearsall from Waterbury.
Waterbury guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That looks great.
So Flanagan, I want to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Brian Brady, who's joined us on the show once.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Staying safe.
I'm going to call you Flanagan because that's what they call you. So
That's right.
all right.
So we were talking about Cora, and Brian was saying that he's okay with Cora being the manager of the Red Sox again, right, Brian?
I'm okay if he, if he's contrite. I think he is, and I think he's done a year. He's embarrassed himself, and
Brian, we don't quite see your face.
well, okay.
There we go. He's
There.
so handsome.
You need a hand. So that's my take on it. I mean, second chance, maybe okay. I liked Cora for one reason, that he was Hispanic. He spoke the language. There's a lot of players coming from Latin countries and everything else. I think they can relate to a guy like him, and I think he probably gets a little more out of those players. Obviously, with 108 wins in that season, along with maybe getting some signals from the catching side. But still in all, I'd like to see what he can do for this year.
I was saying I wasn't crazy about the idea, Flanagan. That he's involved so heavily in the Houston debacle, but he's going to manage for anyone. I think he's got a possibility of being special, kind of like Francona potentially. And if he's going to be anywhere, why not Boston? What are your thoughts on that, Flanagan?
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's funny. I know there's always a little bit of sign stealing in baseball. I think they took it to the next level when they were in Houston, and looks like some of it might have been happening in Boston as well. But I never felt like it was such a crazy event that you had to ban him for life or anything like that. I'm glad he's back as well.
Yeah, I think with Houston, there's so much blame to be spread among so many people. To me.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, they can always, you mentioned Pete Rose earlier. They can always put her in the thing that differentiates Pete Rose from Barry Bonds or anybody else is it's a hard, fast rule. If you gamble, you're gone. Mm-hmm. Now they could say, okay, if you cheat, you're gone. If you do steroids, you're gone. They gotta decide how they want to do this, and don't just use this murky. Well, he did something wrong too over there. It's not illegal for him to do something wrong too over there yet. Okay, you got to either say this deserves XYZ penalty, or or not. You know, you can't have 10 million people giving 10 million opinions about what should happen to one guy because they think he was cheating. You know, what did he actually do, and what's the actual penalty? Until we do that, you can't really, you know, it doesn't really mean anything.
Well, subjective.
That's what differentiates Pete Rose from everybody else. It's a hard, fast rule. You gamble, you're gone. Now they could change that. They could take that off the books if they want to.
I could see that coming
Yeah.
too, right?
Sure.
I saw an interview with Rose not too long ago, and it might have been an older interview, but he basically, you know, he did accept the fact. He admitted, he said, I probably should have admitted it earlier, back when, but, you know, I didn't. And I don't expect that in my lifetime I'm going to be honored to go up to Cooperstown, but maybe after I'm gone, people look at it in a different light, and I might find my way in it at that time.
We
I
also
would have put
agreed,
Pete
you know,
Rose in the Hall of Fame, but banned him from managing forever. You can't get on the field again. You gambled. I can't trust you, but you belong in the Hall of Fame. That's just my own opinion. That's not the rule. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, what's the actual rule? You know.
Mm.
So,
Well, you know, like you said, I think they should have some hard and fast rules for people that gamble, the people that take drugs, the people that
Sure.
stand your line. If somebody's going to get thrown out of baseball, there's plenty of other people that want to get into baseball.
right.
And no matter how good or bad you are, if you break the rules, you're out. Out's out. That's how we're going to play it. And it's, you know,
Like steroids, they're condemning all these guys that were taking them before it was even illegal. Well, no. Okay, now we know you take 3 times. Was it the first one you're gone for 50 games or something like that? Or
Like that,
I
yeah.
forget what. You know, okay, now
right.
from now forward, this is what happens to you. Oh, this guy did it 20 years ago. What are you going to do? You can't. You know,
that's
it
true.
wasn't even illegal then.
Robinson Cano got it again.
Right. A year ban,
Really?
right?
Yep.
Out for a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I
Get
think it
addicted
goes
to
to,
these things, yeah.
yeah. I
Must
think
be
it
a form
goes
of
to,
drug addiction or something. Yeah. Well, how can you be
Right.
dumb enough to do that?
Well, you know, I think if you're working in a job, let's say you work for a city or a state job, and you have a drug problem, and they send you to rehab center, you know, through your union guy sends you to the, you know, you don't necessarily lose your job, you're just replaced to go to somewhere and get better. And when you're better, you come back and you do your
Right.
job. I guess baseball is kind of taking that look at the guys with the drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe an addiction is gambling, and maybe Pete Rose should have had that.
Sure.
You know,
well,
depends
it
on what
might
the
have been-
addiction is.
And
that's
I
a
don't know
good
if you guys know this. The Hall of Fame does not have to keep him out. He's banned from baseball. The Hall of Fame could put him in if they wanted to,
Yeah.
but what the Hall of Fame does, they go along with Major League Baseball. They're not gonna let a guy in that's banned from baseball, but they could technically let him in if they wanted to.
And I think kind of to piggyback to what Brian was saying, I think if that Pete Rose thing occurred today, they probably would have found a way to try to rehabilitate him
Right.
so that he would not be banned for the rest of his life,
Yeah.
right?
I think he had such a contentious problem with the I don't know who was the commissioner of baseball.
Art Giamatti.
Giamatti. I should know that. His center's here in Bristol, but
That's right. Yeah.
they really had a problem. The two of those. I read something about Giamatti was really gonna get him.
Well, he wouldn't admit it, right? I mean, I had all the evidence. He wouldn't admit it. you
Right.
know?
Well, no, he for years didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they were even trying to get him not to. They were trying to put a penalty on him for going to baseball show signings or something. You know, that's how bad it got.
But I heard Ken Burns one time being interviewed. He did that genius. I don't know if you guys ever saw his series on baseball.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh my God, it was one of the greatest things I ever saw. But he's talking about Pete Rose getting banned for life, and he's comparing it with like Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth lived an immoral life too, and they didn't ban him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not what the issue was.
Right.
It wasn't moral versus immoral. It was
baseball.
gambling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Integrity of the game, right?
You know?
I think that not to discount what people do in their personal lives that is
Yeah.
immoral, but I think what they're looking at it is from the integrity of the
Right.
game, and yeah.
If I'm your first baseman and you're my manager and I'm a compulsive gambler, you don't even know whose side I'm on. I could be betting against my own team.
True.
Yeah, sure.
You know. At least if I'm taking steroids, I'm trying to win. You know.
So I have to ask, If the Red Sox had won the World Series this year, would it be an embarrassment? 60 games? Short
No, but
season?
nobody would care.
Well, that's the point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, for some reason I was rooting for the Dodgers, and I'm an American League kind of guy, but I was just wanting to see the Dodgers win this time.
Well, if Dave Robert ever wins with a 162 game season, call me. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Baltimore to win the division.
Yeah,
That's
why not? Why not?
Yeah.
You know,
So
60
I don't
games,
know.
anybody could win, right?
Knowing MLB, with the win of the World Series, they're gonna have a spring training All-Star game, and the Cactus League will have home field advantage in the spring. They'll make it into something. Hey, anybody know how the Grapefruit League got its name?
I have no clue.
Well,
Florida?
legend has it there was a woman aviator in 1915 who was dropping golf balls onto golf courses as a publicity stunt. So, spring training hadn't started yet, but they had baseball in Florida. So they said, hey, fly the plane, drop a baseball down to the field, and the manager will catch it, So she flies over the field, realizes she doesn't have a baseball. All she has is
A grapefruit.
a grapefruit. Drops the grapefruit down, hits the manager in the chest, explodes on him. He thought it was blood, and he's yelling, I'm dying, and everyone's laughing, and that's how the Grapefruit League got its name.
Wow, they should do that
Did you
again.
make that story up?
No, I did not. It's on the internet, so it is definitely true.
It's got to be true.
That's what Abe Lincoln said. If it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
Yeah, the grapefruit was part of her lunch, and she had nothing else to throw out, so she thought the grapefruit.
Hey,
That's
Rob,
great.
you didn't give me any ideas. I might be doing that with pierogies. You never know.
So, yeah, Brian, I got to give you at least the one shameless plug here. Go ahead.
No, we're doing good. You're 15 years in your business there, and I'm 9 years in the pierogi business.
I only asked you on for dear at least one shameless plug.
You got to get a little plug in there, No, we were approached by Big Y recently. So
Big Y, huh?
Well, I think they have like 65 stores.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we're going to take care of that unless we build a factory or something.
So, Flanagan, if you see Holy Pierogies, that's Brian's company.
Holy pierogies. I'll be on. My kids love pierogies. So
You told us why you named it Holy Pierogies. Tell us again.
Well, Flanagan. I'll aim the camera toward Mr. Flanagan. The reason we call them holy pierogies, you don't have to bless yourself before you eat it, but a little genuflect might help. Holy pierogies, we name them that way because these are pierogies without sin, but they're simply delicious.
Wow.
that's great.
I love that every time I hear it.
Yeah, I know.
That's great.
It's so poetic.
We have a tagline on our label that says "They taste heavenly," and I need to change that one. I don't know.
I wonder if we've tried them already. So you're not in Big Y yet, but you're going to be.
We're in quite a few of the IGA stores.
Okay.
Central. I don't know what town you're in, but Plainville, Southington, Woolkid, Middlebury. We go down as far as East Lyme, actually, and Milford and Portland and Deep River and stuff like that. So,
I don't know why we are not all eating pierogies here right now.
Right.
Let's do this again and eat some pierogies.
I just had mine. Oh, well, anyway, I appreciate the plugs,
Absolutely. So seriously, Red Sox 2021. Any thoughts? I mean, this is the last year of labor peace. We have a labor contract up, but any thoughts on the young kids with the Red Sox? I've got a couple of names here that I can throw out at you. They got some prospects, in the Mookie trade. They got some prospects when they traded Workman and Heath Hembry, which I guess they were both. Hembry's been released, and Workman was terrible with Phillies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Workman's going to have a great year next year. Everybody's going to be calling him stupid for letting him go. How's that for a prediction?
Say that again?
Workman's going to have a great year next year, and everybody's going to call him stupid for letting him go.
Yeah, it's possible.
That always happens.
Yeah. But I'm hearing about, Connor Wong, the catcher, who also plays second and third. He threw out 52% of the runners last year.
Mm.
And then you got a 20-year-old center fielder, Jason, Jeisson Rosario. You got a third baseman, Hudson Potts. And then you got a starting pitcher, what's his name, Connor Siebold, and this
Mm-hmm.
reliever, I'm sorry, Edward Bazardo is supposedly at 95, 97. So it sounds like they have some young kids that could contribute. Not sure about this year.
Sale coming back? When's Sale coming back?
Probably mid-season, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's still that far away.
Yeah.
And hopefully Erod, his problems go away.
Sounds like
That was COVID related, right? That was a heart condition as a result of what happened with his COVID infection.
Well, it's interesting. He developed his myocarditis, and then when they found out he had it, they said, "Sit, don't do it, don't even walk."
Right.
And but I guess studies that have come out have said that myocarditis is extremely rare, as far as it having anything to do with COVID. It's almost like not even recognized really. So very very unusual situation there.
So it was another case of someone having COVID, and they really didn't have COVID.
Well, he had it.
He had
and
COVID?
they
He
only
did
know-
have it, yeah.
That's the only reason why they figure he had myocarditis.
Oh, okay.
But the number of cases is infinitesimally small.
Okay, so those two things were not related to each other, in other words.
It sounds like they were,
They don't
but it's very
think.
very rare.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then we were missing another starting pitcher. Trying to ring the bell here as well.
Ryan Weber, he was released.
Yeah, the
Who was the starting rotation? I mean, Erod was gone. Sale's gone. What else did they have?
More pitchers that you can name.
right.
PJ Stock, and just tons of them.
Well, they had the younger guy. I'm gonna have to pull him up, and I'm probably gonna kick myself when I see his name. That they signed for 3 or 4 years. He opened the season up. He was their opening day starter almost by default, but he's kind of like a number 3, number 2.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, who really followed the season very much, You
You
That's
know
the
what?
thing.
I don't even remember the starting rotation in 2018. The year they won the whole. It was Erod and Sale. I can't think of anybody. As soon as I hear the names, I will. But I don't remember who was on the starting rotation that year.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
are
Henry and the
rumors. Sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, they're talking about rumors of George Springer. I know we're talking rotation, but you might have
Yeah, I heard
talked
that.
about this beforehand. But rumors of George Springer coming to Boston.
Maybe. Yep.
When's Pedroia going to retire? What's the matter with this guy?
I think he's close.
Now,
I think he's very close. The fact that he's taking $12 million a year out of their salary, out of the salary kitty is to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's got to
It's
kill him.
finished, man.
Hey, Price Porcello, Mr. Korn. Price Porcello in 18.
yep.
Okay.
Drew Pomerantz. Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright.
That's amazing. I forgot those two, Price and
Yeah.
Porcello.
Yeah.
That's how fast things change,
Right.
Yeah, and Price didn't even pitch in 2020.
I'm getting old. My long-term memory's great. I could tell you the 1975, 1986, the whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible with it too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I did not watch one baseball game.
I didn't watch one inning all year.
This one either. Nothing.
Yeah, and I was thinking of Evaldi. So they were missing Price.
Evaldi, yeah, that's right.
They were missing Price, Evaldi, Sale, Erod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Valdi
Those-
but he pitched okay this year.
hmm He missed a bit, right? Didn't he miss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I called you, Gordon. A buddy of mine came over. It was during the World Series. He goes, "You want to watch some of the game?" I'm like, "No." He came over anyway. So we watched about 3 innings of I don't remember which game it was.
Yeah.
The only baseball I watched all year.
Boy, and who knows what's going to happen with TV ratings, NESN and Yes and all the rest. It's terrible.
Imagine the money
Obviously
they lost.
terrible.
Hey, how about that Matt Barnes? Is he still?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got Evaldi. You said that.
Yeah, Barnes
So,
is good.
Sale, Erod, Evaldi. That's a pretty good top three if they're healthy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they picked up a hitter that this week or last week that's hit a lot of home runs in AAA. You hear that guy's name? No?
The only Red Sox I saw, is it a Verdugo?
Oh yeah.
He's good. I
Mhm.
watched some of the games. That guy's got spirit. He's got heart. He's good.
Alex Verdugo.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he came on the scene, he lit it up pretty well for a while there.
Chavez
He
is
did.
still there, right? The second baseman?
What's that?
The second baseman, Chavez?
Yeah. Yep.
Still there, right?
Yeah.
Vasquez is still there.
Martinez. J.D. Martinez.
He's going to be there next year?
Yep.
Well, I don't know about next year. He played during this past year.
Yeah. Yep.
And Benintendi.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was there.
He had a lost season in 2020.
Bradley's still there, right?
No, free agent.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see Bradley on the roster. Though. I'm
No,
looking at
free
him.
agent.
Yeah.
Now, you said J.D. Martinez will be there next year? Did you
That's
say
what I'm
that?
hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what I was headed, where I know it was a terrible season and nobody was paying attention, but when you're missing your top four in your rotation and then your bullpen can't really keep things together, I don't think they're that far off from being right back in the thick of things, right?
No.
Well, if they get the pitching cooking for them.
Yeah.
They got some of these guys that we just talked about have really shown themselves in play before.
Well, they got three guys that have the potential to be, you got Sale, Martinez, and Valdi. The three of them that's a good 1, 2, 3 if they, who knows what's going to happen.
Flanagan, were you thinking of Martin Perez as a starter earlier?
No, I was thinking of Evaldi. That was the one that was missing in my head. Yeah,
Because Martin Perez,
that's the young guy that came on near the end that was doing pretty well too, right?
I think he was signed in the off season. The club declined their option with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I was definitely thinking of Evaldi, and I looked up his record. I guess he went 4-2, so it does seem like he missed a little time.
Yeah. Well, a lot of unknowns with the young players. That's for sure for 2021. And I don't know about you guys. I really hope it's a full season, and it should be. They have enough time to kind of line things up, I would think, for MLB.
Do you think they delay it a little bit, maybe, to just get enough vaccine out there and just start a little later?
I don't know. I mean, baseball players getting a vaccine before anybody else. I don't know if I see that.
They're essential players.
How much of a vaccine is going to be out there in February for those that are not, that are not high on the phase list, phase 1, phase 2, if you're not,
I think I still see a shortened season. I see it starting late.
Well, if the NFL can do it, of course, I think the NFL was going to do it at all costs. We don't know what, we don't know what corners they. The
NBA, they're doing it too.
But if they can do it, I would think baseball can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a longer number, a higher number of games, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot more travel given that. But I would think they could get it together if the NFL did, which obviously they have.
I wasn't paying attention to much of it, but the playing in a bubble. Now, would it be wise for baseball to play at one place and kind of seclude the players from outside? Not a lot of traveling, stuff like that.
They considered it with Florida and Arizona.
Yeah.
They considered it
Yeah,
for
I
this
wonder
year.
if they would play that. I wonder if they play that record again. You never know.
Yeah, right. The NBA didn't get one infection, correct? If I'm not mistaken, NBA did not get one infection once they restarted the season there.
Right. I would think baseball's got to try to be normal. You know, it's, you know, the pandemic, should be over in 2021, although maybe not during all the months of the baseball season. But I would think they got to try to get a regular season in.
He did in 1919. I was watching they did a thing on a C-SPAN. This college professor was doing a thing on it. All these photographs from. I didn't realize how it was illegal not to wear masks in a lot of cities and stuff like that. And there's pictures of barbers cutting hair with masks on and stuff. And they showed a picture. I don't know who the team was. It was in spring training. The guys were wearing masks.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't. I didn't realize that they were. You know how the parallels between the two.
Yeah,
you know,
and the same types of arguments of mask wearing where.
Yeah, exactly.
The same argument, you know, you're cutting into my freedom, and yeah, it's interesting.
There was a picture of a guy getting on a stagecoach or something, or a trolley car or something, and the guy pointing at him, "You can't get on." He didn't have a mask on. Yeah, you're right, Flanagan. It was the same. Human nature hasn't changed.
Are you sure the picture of the stagecoach wasn't taken last week in Hollywood?
Hey, it was on the internet.
Hey, it was in Bristol.
People denying that they have the flu. Denying the
They
flu
said
exists.
They said Babe Ruth had it.
Yeah,
1918. Babe Ruth had the flu.
Really, the Spanish flu.
Spanish flu. Yeah.
My grandmother died during that one.
Oh, wow.
Really?
My
Wow.
dad was 7 years old when she died. She had 6 kids.
Oh my goodness.
Pregnant with the 7th one, and she made it through the first 2 years. And in 1920, she died, but she died quickly. It was like 2 days.
Wow.
They had nothing, you know, they weren't really understanding what the hell it was and how to feel.
Yeah.
So
It was still going on in 1920.
yeah, that was the third phase. It was like the very beginning. I think she died around this time of the year, you know, close
My
to
God.
February, she died. And my dad got sent with he was the second oldest. He and his oldest brother got sent back to Ireland, and my dad lived over there for a couple of years
Wow.
with an uncle. And they were not treated well. They were treated like they weren't, their parents were Irish. They came over and all that, but they were treated as Yanks. They were American, they were Yanks, and every day was a fist fight.
Wow.
So my dad became a tough Irish cop, and my uncle became a tough ward leader in politics in Waterbury. So,
My grandfather was a coal miner.
oh wow,
He was working in the coal mines when he was 7 years old.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah. There was racism back then, guys.
Right.
there was. Yeah, you hear all the stories, and you say to yourself, "Wait a minute."
You know, you couldn't own property in Connecticut if you were Catholic 150 years ago.
I
Really?
wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
They wouldn't, you know. My daughter took us over. She was a teacher in Farmington, and they get this colonial house that you go to, and you know, the old days. And they're describing Christmas, and if you were Catholic, they wouldn't let you celebrate Christmas. The Puritans. They were really,
They started the country to avoid religious persecution. Then they
Yeah.
started doing the same
they were
thing.
doing all that crap there. Yeah? It's something.
And here we are, 400 years later. We haven't changed.
Human nature never changes.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, not at all.
You know?
Well, shout out to all of our friends on the Red Sox Winter Weekend Facebook group. Believe it or not, we've had a fair number of people join in the past month. You know, because we're kind of approaching the time where that's when you order tickets for the event, which is in Springfield the next 4 years, and obviously the feeling is there won't be one this year. But a shout out to all the members of that group. They're all awesome, and maybe we'll do like a virtual meetup on Facebook at some point with that group. I don't know if you know, Brian. We started the group on Facebook. There's over 1,100 people in the group,
Oh, I
Wow.
didn't know that.
and at the event, I swear, you know, Cora and I were in the Springfield Civic Center for the panel discussion with the 2004 representatives, Big Poppy and Keith Folk and Embry, Alan Embry and all them. And if you looked at people's phones in front of you, they were looking at the group because it's, a combination of people helping each other, questions and answers, pictures. And that was the app that everyone was looking at. It was really amazing. And I'm not just trying to say because we started it, but it was, unbelievable. It was the go-to app for people to look at for information, which is great.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Very good.
We owe it all to you.
No, the number of people that post on that group is a lot more than just me, believe me. If you look at the photo section from the past two seasons, the past two events, you can see, how many people posted pictures.
I felt like I was there. I wasn't able to be there, but I felt like I was. It was really good.
Yeah, with their Red Sox idols, and pictures with their families and players and former players. It was it's that's what it really is, which is really neat.
Did it snow?
Yeah, of course it did. It was freezing cold. It had to be 10 degrees out. And
I don't think it snowed. I think it was really cold that day. Yeah.
Yeah, and to go from the there were two locations. It was actually the convention hall, right, and the civic center. They had the street was actually lined with a tarp and heated. But you went from one to the other, which was still freezing.
That's nice.
It was still freezing. It's still cold.
Yeah.
And then we were lucky enough, because of a friend of mine, to have season ticket holder passes. So we were able to get to the season ticket holder lounge, which was over at the freestanding castle at the hotel. So there was no way to stay indoors and go to that. We had to walk across the courtyard. It was freezing. Let me tell you.
That was the second time we went to Springfield, right?
First.
Last year was the first one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you guys think of the AAA team moving to Worcester?
Yeah, the Paw Sox.
Paw Sox in Worcester.
Oh, they moving there, right?
Yeah.
I think is it next year they're going to open up next year there?
Yep.
I like it.
That's probably going to be some kind of stadium too, in comparison to.
I bet it's a beautiful stadium. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if you join the Facebook group, you'll see all the pictures of how the stadium's progressing. They put the sod in already, so a lot of pictures are put up every day.
Pretty good. I wonder what the seating capacity is going to be. Do you know?
About 10.
Okay.
That's a good size.
I think that's required for AAA is 10.
And it's Hartford 6.
Have you guys been to the Pawtucket Stadium?
I've seen it on TV. I've never.
It's an old stadium. It needs to, I mean, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to a game next year in Worcester. Yeah.
That should be neat.
I would check it out.
I know the way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, judging the fact that my hometown here in Bristol used to have the Bristol Red Sox, and it was they were trying to fix up Muzzy Field to build it up for make it a more it's like a better stadium than it is, and city council somebody just dropped the ball and the Britons ran right in and took it away from them.
Yeah.
So and there's still a piece of concrete out there. Trying to think who did 3 Red Sox. Jim Rice put his name into the wet concrete. Rice, I think Boggs, and one other of the players.
Did Evans play there?
Did who?
Evans, did he play there?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe.
I think he came up through the minor league, Boston's minor league system. Yeah, early 70s probably.
They had the one thing they like to say is that they had an exhibition game with Babe Ruth one time, and he hit a home run, and it was off to right field, out of the park, and nobody found the ball. And they think it was in one of the big maple trees or one of the big oak trees. It got stuck up there, and they still think it's stuck in some kind of tree over there.
Well, Brian took me to lunch one day years ago and showed me all the autographs in the sidewalk.
Oh, that's what they did, yeah.
So we should have taken the afternoon off and looked for that baseball in the oak tree.
Well,
That'd be great.
I got nothing but days off, so what the heck? I might have to fix my other knee to do it, but we'll see what happens.
Maybe in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah. You go, I'll hold the ladder. You can go out.
Okay.
No, they did a nice job. Muzzy Field is really, they put some money into it and dressed it
Yep.
up really nice. Now it's a good looking stadium. But they have the college, there's a college league.
Yes,
That
yes.
comes in place, the Bristol Blues, I think they call
That's
it.
not the Dan Duquette League, is it?
I don't think so.
Because he has I'm sorry, his facility up in Mass. I think that's closed.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, this one, I don't know if this one ties close to the Cape, not as much, not as good as the Cape Cod League, but I think
Yeah.
some of the guys from here desire to get in the Cape Cod League.
Mhm.
That's primo, I guess. I've seen some of the stadiums they played up there, and I've seen a game or two at Cape Cod.
Hey, I know who would know about that league. That would be someone who's on our page and in the group. Bill Farrell would know about that. He's
yeah.
with the Frozen Ropes Academy up in Albany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the, the Gray Sox are the ones that they play original baseball.
Yeah.
Who was the, Bill Lee was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And he played in Bristol, and he's just he was like 60 years old and he's still playing baseball.
Oh,
He still might be doing it
late
now.
60s. Yeah,
In Toronto, right?
I think
Wasn't
I think he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably is.
No.
Yeah.
He was on he was pitching in the early 70s for Boston. 1973,
Yeah.
72. That's
He's
like
been on this
7
show.
years ago.
He's been on this show.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right, Bill Lee?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
we
got
had
to be
him on.
70. He's got to be 70.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
If he was
Yeah, he
27
was-
years old, if he was 27 years old in 75, that would make him 72 right now. If he was
I
only-
believe that's what he is. Yeah.
And he was there, and he was on the team for about 4 years by then.
I remember that interview when he was on the show. It was funny. It was great,
Mhm.
right?
He's
Wasn't
got
it?
a sense of humor,
he's
that
still-
guy. He really,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
And he
he's
was
great.
Yeah, he was at the
He's
World
great.
Series Club a couple years ago.
Was he there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy's crazy. I love him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a good guy. Who was the guy that played for Detroit? And he used to talk to himself on the pitcher's mound.
Mark
Fidrich?
Fidrich?
Fidrich, that's right. And he's from New England, I think, too,
Did
right?
he die in a bizarre accident or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. I
So-
think up in New Hampshire or wherever. I think he's from that area.
On his farm. He's from Northborough, Mass.
Okay, he died on the farm. I
Yeah,
think.
on the farm. Yeah.
So Bill Lee is going to be 74 in about a month.
Wow. Yeah.
I was looking at Cora's backup guys, coaches and stuff, and the only one I could really relate to was who's a catcher?
Veritek?
Veritek, yeah. He's on his staff.
Yeah, he's on the staff. Yeah, he is. Game planning coordinator.
Some of the other guys I really wasn't too familiar with.
Well,
Heard
most
him.
of them are returning.
Mhm.
Oh, they are really? Okay.
Except
Yeah,
for
the old guard. Yep.
yeah, Will Venables, a bench coach. Most of them are returning though. Tom Goodwin's first base coach.
Well, you would know him anyhow, but
I could see Veritek one day being a manager.
If his wife will let him.
If he wants to.
This one.
Well,
Who the
you
heck
think-
would
you
want
think-
that job, man?
you think Pedroia is going to find himself in a job like that?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I don't.
No?
No, not after the way he's acted the last 3 years, no.
Oh, really?
No. Well,
With Veritek, I mean, so he's now on the coaching staff. So apparently, Catherine's let him travel with the team and be with the team for a full season now. So he could be manager. But what if he's a manager, someday gets fired? Then what's his legacy like?
yeah.
I don't know. And by the way, I want to say what an impact it had on me when I heard that Tommy Heinsohn passed away.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
great
You know,
guy.
I'll tell you a story.
He's a
about-
legend.
Mhm.
We went to see. I had tickets for the Celtics. When they played 4 games in the Civic Center.
Yeah, as did I.
And here I am going into this place, and there was, the kids wanted to eat outside before we, went into the Civic Center at the time. So I said, let's just go to Wendy's. We get in the line at Wendy's. It's one of these wind around things, and I just get in the line and the turn around, and who's facing me, but Tommy Heinsohn and the other announcer, not Tom.
Mike,
Gorman.
Mike Gorman?
Mike Gorman.
Yeah.
The two of those guys, and the greatest guys going. They're talking to my little girls. They're having a conversation, the whole 9 yards. Heinsohn's quite a guy. You know,
Oh yeah.
wonderful man. I'll tell you, he'll be missed.
I mean, talk about a guy who gets fired, but yet stays in the community and stays involved in, with the team, various capacities, especially broadcaster. That's unusual.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
He's in the Hall of Fame twice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, as a player, as a coach. And I wonder if don't they have a category for announcers too?
I don't know.
I wonder.
I mean, he retired early from the game. He had injuries.
Oh yeah,
He played I think he played 9 seasons.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And then I think he coached. Did he win 3 championships as a coach?
Yeah. I don't know. Was it 3?
Right, because
I don't know.
I thought he had won 9 championships in 10 years. Is that it?
Or 8 and 9 years, something
Or
like
8 and
as a
9.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on a run. I mean, when they had that team, there was just no stopping them. You know? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart when they left Hartford. And then I signed up to see them in Boston. I got a package of 13 games.
Hmm.
And my daughter and her husband, at that time they were newly married, and they said, well, we'll get 2 seats, you get 2 seats. And we used to go up to the games, and then I'd give 2 tickets to him, or he'd give me his 2 tickets, and I'd bring friends of mine. And then you always want to take care of your lawyer, your accountant, your whatever, hey, don't charge me so much. Here's a ticket to a ball game. But it was just great to go. But it was during the Paul Pierce years. They really just weren't winning big time like they're used to. They didn't have Larry Bird in the game like that. So
Yeah, really, it was when the big 3 got put together where they won that 17th championship. That's pretty much the year that they did anything, right? And I think they had a chance the year before, maybe.
Yeah.
And that was.
So,
LeBron, right?
yeah.
Yep.
The greatest basketball player ever, LeBron, according to himself. Just ask him.
How many rings does he have?
Yeah.
Well, I want to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving, and all of our viewers, listeners out there, happy Thanksgiving. Stay well, stay safe.
Hey, the same to you.
Same
to
everybody.
you.
You guys, thanks for
Hopefully
inviting me this time. I appreciate it.
Hey, anytime, Brian.
Anytime you need
Flanagan, Corn,
Have a
take it
great
easy.
one. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks
Happy
for watching,
holidays,
everyone.
everybody.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you're listening on iTunes or whatever podcast application you use, and also YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else. Join us, like us. We like the company. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks.
May all your pierogies
Bye.
be holy ones. We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
All right.